Hey everybody, Jeremy here with another episode of Daily Marketing. Today we are going through another Facebook ad campaign type, and I would have to say honestly the most important Facebook ad campaign type. If there was one that I use more than everything else, one that I think is the most valuable of any of these ad campaign types, is this one, and that is conversion ads. Conversion ads are far and away the most effective ad that I use. It's probably the most common one that any advertiser uses. It's just an extremely powerful, extremely well targeted, or it helps you target exactly who you want to reach and helps you drive actual conversions, but ultimately helps you, is one of the ad campaign types that will help you achieve revenue goals, achieve lead generation goals, all of those sorts of things. And so one of the reasons for that is that with conversion goals, Facebook does a lot of the heavy lifting for you, right? And they use a lot of their machine learning, and are able to kind of zoom in on exactly the sorts of people that will take specific actions when it comes to things on your website or what have you. You can use conversion goals in a number of different ways. So I'm going to start off, create a conversion campaign, and we'll walk through kind of the right way of using this for various sorts of applications. So I'm going to start over there. So conversions on the right hand side, click conversions, right? I'm going to call the campaign conversions, obviously. So now this is going to be very familiar at this point, but there's going to be a few key things that you're going to want to pay attention to when it comes to kind of the conversion. So when it comes to a conversion campaign, what you're going to want to do is you have a number of conversion events on your website, right? And as we talked about, kind of up here in the top hamburger menu, you can also create custom conversion events, things like that. There's a number of default conversion events, especially if you're using a platform like Shopify or WooCommerce or what have you. Those conversion events are going to automatically populate when it comes to that. But you can also set up custom ones as well, which can be extremely useful, and we'll get into that a little bit. But for your conversion, there's a few things that you can do. Is number one, you can do website. Number two, you can do app conversions there. And then number three, you can do messenger conversion events. So sell through messenger as well. And we'll get into that a little bit more, how to create messenger ads with the messenger ad campaign type. But right now we're just going to do website conversions. This is probably the most common. So what we're going to do is we're going to choose add to cart. Now, there's a couple of different methodologies when it comes to choosing your conversion event and what you want to do, right? And I think that it's important to bear in mind your kind of overall marketing funnel and the job that you want the specific ad to do. That said, I've seen a lot of people, it's of my opinion that it's best to choose a conversion event that's kind of mid funnel. And so, if you think about like visiting the website, viewing a product, adding that product to cart, initiating the checkout, purchase, right? Stuff like that. Or like, maybe some sort of like lead process that follows a similar one. I usually work with like add to cart. And the reason is that when it comes to conversions, you need to hit two goals. Number one, you need at least 10 conversions a day. And number two, you need 50 conversions a week, right? And that's really, really important because that's kind of the minimum amount that it takes for Facebook's algorithm to optimize. And then inside of the audience you define, then turn around and, kind of narrow down to that subset that they're pretty sure are going to actually complete that. And so, yeah, like I said, I'll see, usually I'll do add to cart conversion and then just set my budget appropriately. Now, one downside to conversion campaigns, if you're going to use them, is that you have to actually figure out, what that conversion is going to cost you, and you have to be able to hit 10 a day and 50 a week, right? So bear that in mind as you're going through it. That said, very worth it. So yeah, we're going to target United States, and this is just kind of the standard targeting. I don't usually do this expand interest. That's not usually my style. I tend not to tend not to like the results that I get with that. So I turn that off. I know a lot of other advertisers choose to turn that off as well. So, I'm going to do frequent international travelers. Yep, frequent international travelers. Narrowed to engaged shoppers. Engaged shoppers, again, super useful, as these are people that click ads, right? There we go. Engaged shopper behavior, right? And so that's probably going to do it for me. I want to keep this pretty wide open. Now, with conversion ads, another thing that you want to do is typically you'll want an audience under 1 million people, but over a couple 100,000, right? And that's going to give Facebook the leeway to basically be able to properly optimize your conversion campaign. And so I would strongly suggest that you do that. Uh, uh, Audience size. As you can see, we're at 950,000, so that's absolutely perfect. So with this, like I said, you need to give Facebook the platitude to be able to kind of optimize the way that you want it to. So I'm going to remove a number of placements here with conversion campaigns. I really like Instagram feed and stories. I like Facebook Marketplace a lot. Facebook Stories, I don't like right column that much usually, and I don't usually use instant articles. These are the placements that I find across a number of, lots of different clients, lots of different experiments, things like that, that I find are really useful. So yeah, otherwise, I'm gonna set a more substantial budget than I usually set during our videos. Optimize for conversions. Obviously, that's what you want to be doing here. You can optimize for landing page views, link clicks, impressions, or unique reach. I would optimize for conversions, and then I always do. There's some different thought processes around the conversion window. Now, the conversion window isn't just when it will actually like count it. What it is it's what it's optimizing for. So it's saying, do you want to optimize for people that buy within 7 days of clicking or 1 day of viewing, or do you want to just go down to the people that are going to like click and buy right now, 1 day? So there's different methodologies around that. Again, though, I kind of like to keep the window as broad as possible, just because it really depends on the amount of money that you're spending. If you're spending a lot, like, and by a lot I mean, a couple $1,000s a day, like 1 day click may be better, right? It just all depends on what you're looking for. Otherwise, I'm going to keep delivery type the same, charge on impressions, kind of just looking through, giving everything a second quick look. I'm probably just going to target women on this one. And then, yeah, we're going to continue on to the creative. So, with conversion campaigns as well, I should say I find that the most effective is video. I think that video is definitely going to be where you get kind of your most bang for your buck when it comes to conversion ads and many other Facebook ad types. So I'm going to browse our library. We've got that solo traveler video, right? This wouldn't be the kind of creative that I would typically use for it. I'm just kind of running through what we've got here. So tanks that get around put the HT there's another thing too, landing pages when it comes to conversions. You can do single product. I have a lot of luck. I definitely don't have a lot of luck dumping to the first or just like the front page, but I have a lot of luck sending people to like product collections. So so I'm going to go over to the tanks that get around. This is kind of the collection of women's, right? That's who we're talking to right now. And so yeah, this is going to be kind of this is going to be kind of where I'm going to dump them to collections. Now your mileage will vary on this, and there's a lot of kind of conflicting thought processes, but Yeah, so I'm going to actually just like I find a lot that with a lot of the clients I work with, running to collections ads are possible. So, um, we're gonna change to shop now button, right? Um, Hilarious tanks for your travels. Go through and just fill out kind of the rest of the we're going to go through, like I said, fill out the kind of the rest of the um, creative here. But yeah, ultimately, I mean, this is really what conversion ads is in a nutshell, right? And kind of, I was talking on Reddit with somebody the other day, and I won't typically just, this is kind of a not a typical strategy I'll use. I'll usually try it with a client, right, just to see if it works. But I won't usually just hit a cold audience with kind of a conversion ad like this, right? Like typically what I would actually do is I would go and I'd run like an engagement ad or something like that of a different creative, just get people kind of engaging with a piece of content. And then I would retarget people that engaged with that. And that would be kind of so my engagement ad would have like this sort of targeting, right? And then my conversion ad would just be a custom audience of people that engaged with my ads or visited the website, right? And then I'm going to try and sell them something. And then, when it comes to conversion ads later on, which I'll also use, conversion ads for, I'll do something like I'll change the conversion to purchase, and then I'll actually do the custom audience of people that added to cart but did not purchase inside of the last, like 2 weeks or something like that, right? And so you want to, like I said, when it comes to conversion ads, you want to think in terms of a funnel, and you want to start, kind of usually after like an engagement a campaign or a traffic campaign or however you're setting up your funnel. Kind of work your way down and just move people from one conversion to another. Another thing too to keep in mind is that I see a lot of people, they conflate the word conversion with purchase. A conversion really is just kind of any event that you want somebody to convert to, right? So that could be, adding to cart or filling out an email or whatever. Conversion is a very broad term. You just then have to specify what kind of conversion inside of that conversion ad is going to, or I'm sorry, what kind of conversion inside of that kind of broad umbrella term is going to be the one that you're shooting for with this specific campaign. And again, I encourage you all to just, think of this in a way of like, you know, don't make it too complicated, but also understand that you have to build kind of a relationship. And this is still marketing. This is advertising. Very rarely does just buy this thing right now work. I think it's important to kind of build that kind of brand relationship and stuff. So start with an engagement or traffic, go into a piece of content, then maybe do a conversion ad to like a collection, like this, and then maybe do like some retargeting ads after that for people that added a cart but didn't complete the purchase, and then yeah, there's some other tactics as well that you can do, but that's really conversion ads. Honestly, like I said, it's the most powerful kind of ad campaign type that Facebook really has, to be honest, and it's the one that I easily use the most every single day. So get comfortable with conversion ads. Definitely play around with them a little bit. Let me know if you have any questions at all in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Happy marketing, everybody.